Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another version of Family Matters with Unc and his nephews. Once again, I'm Unc Eric Yarborough.
I'm
I'm Juwan.
Tyrell.
Oh, look at you. I'm Juwan, one of the nephews.
What's up, nephews? It's been a minute. Good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Hey, I want to talk about. I know we had a couple segments on sports. We did a three-part. Now I want to do another three-part. I want to talk to everybody, and it's people that need motivation. So I wanted to talk to you guys today to ask, what's your everyday motivation? I know it's a deep subject. A lot of people don't know what motivates them. I just had a talk with some college kids. It's like, hey, what's motivating you? Nothing. You ain't gonna make it. I tell them. You
Mhm.
got to figure out what's your motivation. Do y'all want me to go first, or my nephew wants to go first? Tell me how y'all want it.
I can start. I feel like for me, it's more internal motivation. I tell everyone that I come in contact with, I strive to get better at least 1% every day. It may not be the same thing every day, but as long as I, do something better than I did yesterday, I can go to sleep at night, look at myself in the mirror, and say we got better. And that's just a byproduct of playing sports and trying to improve something. You're not going to get perfect at it, but as long as you strive to improve, or you strive to be perfect, knowing that it's not going to happen, you can definitely see those improvements. And as long as if you get better every day of a year, you'll improve on something. You get a new habit, or have a habit fall off that was bad for you. That's improvement for me, and that's what we're all striving to do.
1% every day. You're gonna be over 100%.
I mean, it's not going to add up to 100%, but
Oh, I'm just. I mean, I like numbers. You said 1% every day. 1%
right.
every day. Gee, it's 365 days, nephew.
No, absolutely. And
So
like
you
if
have
it's
to drop off somewhere, or I mean, I want to understand this 1%.
no,
Because
yeah, absolutely. I
I think
mean,
about it, the 100th day, I should be at 100%. So,
yeah, for sure.
how
But
does it?
so for me, it's more so like if you put yourself in categories, like as men, we're in today's society, we're still in the norm of being providers, making sure that we have our stuff together in that realm. So you have being a provider, you have being your relationships, you have your mental, physical health, and then you have your financial health. So if you put it in those four buckets, it's like, okay, if I can get 1% better in these four buckets, then I should be able to see some incremental improvement in myself, or others should see that in me as well.
Yo, what's the four buckets? What's the four buckets?
As men, you have the social norm of being a provider, and then you also have your relationships, whether you're like you unc as being an uncle, a brother, a son, a husband, a significant other. And then you have your friends, so you have your relationships, and then you have your physical, mental health. That's one bucket that I like to put it in, and then you also have just your financial health. And so like those are my four buckets, and just trying to get better in one of those areas day to day. And then you also have the ancillary things like running a household that fall into a couple of those buckets, as well as raising children. Like I don't have kids yet, but I have siblings that fall into that relationship aspect, and making sure that I'm checking in on them, or close friends, colleagues, things of that nature, so that everyone is feeling the love, as well as um, you know connecting with people.
Financial health, provider, relationships, mental and physical health. Oh, oh, $100,000 education. Okay. They teach it over there. They teach
Hey,
those. Okay. But those are good points, though, for real. Those are great points. So,
yeah,
Tyrell, you want to go or you want me to go? You can go, Tyrell. Go ahead.
okay. Uh, what motivates me every day is my family, my wife and kids. You know, I feel like they depend on me to be able to come home. I mean, well, go to work, provide for the family, being able to help with, being able to do things. Gives me motivation to wake up and go to work and do what I need to do so I can come back home and see my family. So that's the biggest thing for me. Being able to come home and see your family after a hard day's work. Whatever happens at work, stays there. Don't bring your work problems back home.
What about your home problems to work?
No, I never do. I never understood that part in life. Like one guy I used to work with at my previous job, literally all 5 days of the week he comes to work like beyond pissed off because whatever he's doing at home he's bringing it to work and he's cussing out drivers for no reason. He's got a lot of complaints, but it's like, what did these people at work do to you? You know what I mean? I never ever go to work and bring my home problems to work or bring my work problems to home. So there's no point in doing that. Nobody at the vice versa place did anything to deserve what's coming on the opposite end.
That's true.
You're right, but it always happens though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. You just got to be able to control it. You
Control anger. Is it a such thing?
you gotta be able to control your anger.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a class? Because I
No.
think I might have to go. I know I might have to go. I don't know about y'all too, but I might have to go. Control anger.
No, you just got to be able to check. Like
Woosah.
There you go.
my, but yeah, I mean, there's no need to come.
You two guys are like laid back. Me, I'm a firecracker. I know.
Well,
So
Yeah.
it takes y'all. Me,
Yeah.
going off the rocker. You know what I mean?
It takes me a little minute to get going, but
I don't take nothing for me to get going.
You wake up on it. You wake up ready to go.
I'm waiting. I wait and wait. That's why I said I wanted to go to that class, nephew. I thought you was going to give me the 1-800 number or something I can call in.
yeah, I mean, I control it. Like if I feel like I'm having a bad day, I'll go sit in a room by myself. Take my frustrations out. Well, now that I'm older, I can't go out in the field. I might go play some Madden and let my frustrations out with a couple people. You know what I mean? Go walk the neighborhood or something.
So that's how you deal with your anger. I know nephew probably work out up there. He works out about 5 times a day. He got that Kobe blackout workout. You know what I mean? I'm with all pointers. I just think that, hey, I'm like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, you don't know what will happen. You know what I mean? So, I know me. So
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, to that point, you definitely gotta find your outlet.
Yeah.
As Unc said, it's working out for me, but it's also staying in shape, just in case any of the family members want to challenge me. In case Tyrell gets the urge to say hey, let's hit this 40-yard dash. And
don't be in a wheelchair, boy.
So like you just never know. Or like I have a younger brother. I gotta make sure that he understands, like, hey, I'm the older brother for a reason. Like I can put my hands on you at any time.
And you're not faster. Neither one of y'all faster than me, though. I just want y'all to know. I just want, like,
And
now I'm not racing y'all, but
not in long distance. You probably get it around the track.
nah, I'm talking about I'm a 200 runner. So
Right,
200,
and
y'all
long-
not beating me in the 200.
You got long.
Neither one of you. Or the
I don't
400.
know why I don't know why you're trying to make this a challenge right now. Like,
No,
bro,
I'm not racing y'all. I'm too old. I ain't crazy.
I know, but like it's you making the point, and then Tyrell like, yeah, you got long legs. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. Like we can.
Who faster?
I'm sure I can get him. I can get him.
Who faster, Tyrell or Juwan? Which one of y'all faster?
I am.
But right now, probably Jawan.
I know I am.
Because Juwan in shape. So we all get in shape. We got 5 months to get in shape. All 3 of us. who win 100, who win the 200, who win the 400. But that's a whole nother topic. We're talking about what's fussing, going back and forth. That's competitive nature in us, because
No, absolutely. But I mean that's also a motivation there as well. If you get
everyday motivation,
right?
That right there is a motivation for us to say, hey, 5 months we're gonna race each other.
Yeah,
everybody got to get in shape. Everybody got to get hit it
for sure. Absolutely.
I'll be up at 5 a.m. running, doing suicides, going up the hill. My nephew, he sleep. Tyrell talking about he got to get up and go to work. See what I'm saying? Jawan, 5 a.m. Oh, that's 2 a.m. He just getting in from Vegas. You know what I mean? So let me tell y'all what's my everyday motivation. My everyday motivation is not to be like my father. That pushes me every day. Every day. Things that's bad could be your motivation. I tell everybody, don't make things bad and keep pounding like this, that. Nah, use it as motivation. You gotta use it as motivation, At the end of the day, hey, I'm like, hey, I gotta be here for my kids. That's the most important thing, Ever since I had kids, that's been my motivation. Like, hey, I don't want to let them down. I don't want to be like my father. You know what I mean? Even though I never met my father, my mother tells me, but I don't want to let them down like I was let down. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you miss the games, miss playing catch, stuff like that, always been important, That's why I made sure for you guys, I was always there for y'all. You know what I mean? You need someone to be your support system. And I feel like, a woman can do it, but you still need a man. I think a man needs to be there to help you, guide you to be a man, So I don't say nothing about my mothers and your sisters. I don't want them calling me, getting on me. Great job. I'm just saying, though, that, every man needs a man to push him on and, help him out. So I think that's my everyday motivation at the end of the day. Like, hey, the letdown. The letdown is serious when you're a kid, man. You don't understand that.
That hurts the most.
I'm telling you, man. I can remember to this day that my mother, Pop, all of them, I kept looking. I couldn't play nothing. It was a game. And I kept, they sit in the same spot. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't shoot. I kept looking over there like something wrong. Next thing you know, came out at halftime. I felt better. Because, you're used to them there every time. If they're not there, you feel like something happened. And then your mind don't be in it. I wasn't even in the game. But then when I saw him the second half, I felt a lot better. Like, but because you're so used to the support. When you don't have the support, I don't know how kids dealt with it, with not having nobody there ever to none of their games. I guess we was privileged to have our parents come to our games and able to work around their schedule to come and be there. But it's a lot of kids that don't have that, man. So if y'all listening, y'all don't have that, use that as your motivation, man. You got to find some type of motivation internally to drive yourself.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the head. There's definitely aspects in life that you need a mother's touch, but the impact that a man or a father figure has on a young man is tremendous. You see it a lot in today's society. The single mother narrative is still going on. And the yearning for a role model, a male role model in that is prevalent in a lot of communities, especially ours in the Black community. So it's definitely something that needs to be said. Having a mentor, having a big brother, all those programs are great. You give a child, a little Black kid, the younger me, a support system, a village. I know me and Tyrell had that growing up. If one of our mothers couldn't make it, my mom was there, his mom was there cheering for us. And, we didn't really have to, especially for us, your sisters, we really never saw them at the game, but we heard we heard them over the coaches, over everyone else. Like that,
I heard them in the parking lot when I was coming to the game.
Like those voices are definitely prevalent, but having a support system, having that village behind you makes it all better. And then it gives you someone to lean on when times are tough, but also someone to pick you up when you're doing great, as well as give you that that creative criticism that you need. We all need criticism. We all need something to keep us humble or keep us hungry at the end of the day. I mean, you saw it with Bud Crawford. You know, his mother never told him he was going to be great. His father always told him, "You be great. You're going to be a great boxer." But mom was like, "Yeah, no, you're trash." You know, like having that dynamic in the household is like can create a monster or a beast, if you will. And you know, those results definitely vary. But yeah, it's a delicate dance having the two, but definitely having, you know, a male role model in your life helps just to navigate some of the things that men go through. Because there's a lot of different things that, you know, growing up, you think you know everything, but once you hit that manhood, once you hit adulthood, you learn a lot of lessons really quickly, and you learn the hard way.
on the job training.
Yeah,
exactly. Hands on.
I learned. I could be the first one to tell y'all. Like, I mean, that's why it motivates me. Like, my father never told me all these problems, issues, and obstacles that I'm occur as just being a black male. He never told me, like, Eric, this is what you do if you get pulled over. Like, stuff like that is important. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I missed out on that I didn't get. But the thing about it, the streets raise you. I mean, the streets teach you a lot of stuff, man. And I tell everybody, even though we always knock it and, oh man, this and that, people getting killed. I understand people getting killed, but when I was growing up, like, the streets raised us, but the kids, like, if you're doing good, you off limits. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody knew, like, hey, he doing good, he off. I don't care. Don't touch him. You know what I mean? Nowadays, mothers getting it, kids getting it. So I just feel like we all have, you know, got to have that internal and everyday motivation. And as being, you know, black in America, I mean, it's tough. And I tell everybody, man, and don't get me wrong, you know, it's just not being black. It's racism's everywhere, man. And I just wish that we all was like little kids in a sandbox. Like, when you was a young kid, you have everybody, Indian, black, Chinese, white, everybody in the sandbox playing together. Once they get older, they get that stuff in their head, and, you know, they get the discrimination. Like, when you're young, you just want somebody to play with, man. You don't care if they black, white, Spanish, Asian. Like, you don't care, man.
Yeah.
So
I always say racism is taught. Not, you can't be born racist. You know what I mean? It's got to be taught to you. You know what I mean? You hear it from your parents, your grandparents, or whatever the case may be. You know.
It's the everyday motivation for them, though. That's their motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation. Like, hey, you can't bring, what if one of us come in the house and they, like, why he here? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just something that you got to get adjusted to. And that's why I tell everybody, man, at the end of the day, everybody's not going to live the life that we all live, you know? And I was just telling my son EJ this the other day. I said, hey, when I was going to school, I went down to Stockton. They made me take this bus and stuff to go to Rutgers. I said, all right, I ain't going. I'm going to go to DeVry. I went to DeVry. I had to get leave. I had a class at 1 p.m. I had to leave the house at 6 a.m. to get all the way in New Brunswick for my 1 p.m. class. 6 a.m. And the class didn't start till 1. I had to catch a bus. I had to catch a train and 2 buses just to get there by like 12-ish. And I tell everybody, like, my motivation was that I wanted to get a degree. My thing, I knew when that guy from AT&T came one day, he motivated me and said, hey, I want to be an engineer. Whatever he taught, guy looking sharp, talking about, yeah, little Porsche and stuff. I said, oh, he talking my talk. I said, you can get this stuff without selling drugs? I mean, you don't know, for real. Living in the hood, that's all you know. How many people that you know that really, like, was successful, lawyers and stuff? I ain't really know none. But now I got a lot of buddies that's lawyers, doing good working for like BGE, different companies. My buddy Rock, he worked for the government. Like, people got good jobs. Like, and you know, what motivated me was Rob. Rob went to Monmouth. I'm like, yo, You ain't gonna leave me. I gotta go to college too. Like, hold up, bro. You left with the mama, played football. I'm over here. I'm like, I ain't gonna make it to the NBA. So I'm like, I need to go get my degree. So that's why I transferred with the DeVry. But my motivation, Rob was my motivation. You know, my motivation when I was young, that was my motivation. Then the guy from AT&T, he was my motivation. So I think when you're growing up, it's so many different things that get you to where y'all are now. You know what I mean? It was certain things you see, certain things that you wanted, certain things that you didn't want. You know what I mean? I can't be nobody boo-boo. I can't be in cellmating. Nah, that ain't me. I can't, yo. Can't see it, yo. But I mean, that's my everyday motivation. But motivation when I'm growing up, that was Rob. Rob had the scholarship. I wanted to go to school. We all wanted to go to school because that's one thing Mother Poole pushed us. Like, hey, y'all need to do something. Like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but y'all need to go figure it out. So I think that was my motivation. Motivation when I was younger, definitely was my brother Rob. Rob was like, he was like going to I used to go pick him up, go to these games. You know what I mean? I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, man. I was like, he making sacks, and I'm like, oh, this joker, he all right. He still can't beat me though, but he all right. But so my everyday motivation, my motivation growing up, that's my motivation. What's your motivation growing up, Juwan?
It was different, you know. It was different things. If you ask the 8-year-old me, it's, you know, seeing all the pro athletes playing on television, wanting to be that, wanting to do that. If you ask the high school me, it's, you know, trying to figure out college and how I'm going to pay for college. Then if you ask the college me, it's just, you know, maximizing my 4 years at Oregon. And so it changed. I'd probably say every 4 to 6 years. And just how I changed as a person. But yeah,
when did your playing career was over?
Oh,
a lot of people don't know when it's over.
No.
I'm not gonna say anybody's names, but he's close. He's on the screen with us. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I mean, I knew after the second time I broke my foot, it was, you know, the percentages weren't in my favor. And then just looking around at the people that are being picked, being drafted, things of that nature. It's like, yeah, you know, we don't have the accolades or the stats. And now you tally that up with a couple major injuries. It's like, yeah, the deck is stacked against us. And it's like, okay, we can, you know, once the ball stops bouncing for you, you know, what's next? What's your identity after that? And so that was probably the hardest time, you know, just trying to figure out what's going to motivate me now. Like at first it was ball, like, you know, we're going to ball till we fall. We're going to get there. We're going to, you know, get everyone out and give them a better life. But now that, you know, the ball has stopped bouncing, something else has to motivate me to get up every day. And then that's when I look toward my siblings. You know, I got two. I got a little sister, the princess of the family. Then I have a little brother. And, you know, just making sure every day I wake up, I'm a role model for them. They, you know, they're going to go through life with a great example, and definitely, you know, examples of what to do and what not to do from my case. But it was definitely them for a long time, just making sure that I was there at their events because they were there for me. So the roles reversed. And then, you know, looking at Tyrell and what he was doing at the time, he was, you know, getting engaged, getting married. And it was like, okay, people are like the friends, the family are definitely moving on in life, you know, without sport. So how can I, you know, do the same and put myself in a position to, you know, either still be around the sport, but also help the next generation of athlete or student athlete become great.
Yo, I think it's our parents' fault. I'm just gonna say it's my mother, your mother, Danielle and AG. They had us in these sports, man, and that's all we lived and breathed for real. And that's why I think I'm about to have another problem. I think Max about to be my problem because he wants to shoot baskets like. And me, I never forced it on none of them because that's one thing I didn't want to do with EJ. It just came natural. Like, and then me and Max, he just asked me the other day, "Hey, Dad, let's go outside and play catch." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." I try not to force it on nobody because I don't know if it was forced on us, but it's crazy that all of us play sports. Like all of us, all of us. Except Reese. Reese ain't playing no sports.
That's true.
Reese ain't playing no sports. Danielle, she fouled out a lot. She ran track. Adrian was out there all over the place. Thought she was a football player. But I think we got forced. I think they forced it on us, man.
I mean, they like growing up, Nana, my mom, Tyrell's mom, there wasn't a stay in the house mentality. It was
Right.
get out the house.
Right.
Like now they have. Like
It's reversed. Now you
now I can
you
make
can't
money.
talk to a kid.
I can be a gamer.
Oh, exactly. Like you can stand in front of the computer and game all
Yeah,
day.
be a YouTuber and make millions.
Right. And so like just that I guess that 80s, 90s mentality of no, get out the house, do something. I don't care. But your only rule is to stay out of the house and be home before the street light come on. Like that's it. Like that
Don't
was
tell
it.
No, don't let them call for you.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Tyro, what was your motivation like growing up and hitting all the different levels? What motivated you from high school to college to after school and where you at now? What was the motivations? Because like Juwan said, every 3-4 years you had different motivations. Everybody had different motivations.
Yeah. Well, like middle school, I just wanted to play sports and be the best on the team. I think 8th grade year, I met the number 1 running back in the nation, Caleb King, and got to hang out with him a lot. I told him in 8th grade that by the time I graduated, I wanted to be better than you. I almost broke his touchdown record, and at that point, but because we was in a triple option, there's no way to do that. You can't rush for 2,700 yards on a triple option offense. There's no way he does.
I think the reason why you did that because like me and Juwan say you slow, but go ahead. I mean, you was a fullback or close to a fullback, man. You wasn't fast. What you ran in the 40?
I ran a 4.4.
All right, man. Motivation, man. Tell us about your motivation because you're 40. Your 40 time is not your motivation.
I do. I got it on paper. That's all that matters.
Anybody can write something on the paper, but go ahead.
Right? It came.
You ain't run no 4.4.
I did.
No, but go
Call
ahead.
my mother.
Now your mother going. Yo, let me tell y'all. Y'all parents going. If I call my mother now, your parents gonna lie to y'all. Oh yeah, baby, he ran. Yo, I don't want to hear that.
Okay. You can call Franklin then.
He's gonna spit it straight. That's true. That's one.
Go ahead with your motivation, man. We're not motivated with that 4.4, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, after high school, tried to go to school, go to college, do more things. Didn't work out. Started working. I was like, this is where I needed to be. So at that point, just when working actual 9 to 5 is what people call it nowadays. My uncle was my greatest motivation. My uncle Eric. I felt that I wanted to go make all the money in the world so that way I can come home and chill in 8 hours. Do what I need to do 8 to 10 hours a day, and live in a nice house, a bunch of cars, and my life is set. So.
Hey, it's not easy. I try to tell you, it's never easy.
Yeah. So
the 8 to 10 hours become 12, 14 hours now.
Right.
And then I work Saturdays and Sundays now, like 7 days a week. The guy just sent me an email saying, "Hey, look like you're working 7 days a week." I do work 7 days a week, so don't think it never gets easier, nephew.
No. So that's where I'm at now.
All right.
Basically, dream.
So we have our everyday motivations. What, and this is going to be, a tough question, but what would the today Jawan, Tyrell, and Eric say to the 10 years ago Eric, Jawan, and Tyrell to motivate them? 10 years. If you got 10 years, what's that? 35. I'm off the hook at 35. I was off the hook at 25. So, yeah, I'm off the hook. Yeah, it varies. But would your motivation be the same 10 years ago, or will you have a different motivation 10 years ago?
I think I think I had the same motivation, but if I can go back and tell myself what I know now, I'd probably get my act right.
Get your act right.
Yeah. Take it one day at a time, try to instead of planning ahead, trying to move too fast. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, no, similar answer there. I feel like I would tell my 10 year younger self that it's not about everyone else, it's about you. You got to run your own race. I'm talking to a 18-year-old kid who is about to embark on a college journey, leaving home, going clear across the country, and starting college. So it's something that hasn't been done for him in a while, or for a long time. You're leaving your village, and so you're don't look at the outward world for motivation. You have it in you, but you definitely giving them the tips and tricks of the trade, similar to Tyrell. Start quick on everything else, but don't be quick to make decisions or live the fast life. It's all about what's in between your ears. You are your own motivator, and take it one day at a time. Life is going by really quick. It's every time I think about it, 10 years has gone by very quickly. Like,
Yeah.
They say you time flies when you're having fun. A lot of it was fun, but you can definitely pick out those experiences that weren't fun, or you had to go through those obstacles. So they definitely make you the person you are today, but you would definitely go through them differently if you had that knowledge. But yeah, the 18-year-old me was trying to set the world on fire and do it all in one day. But you just gotta take it one day at a time and slowly run your race at your pace.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with y'all. 10 years ago, you take chances, and I think I took a chance 10 years ago. I think that's when I was at NASA. I left a comfortable job with a lot of friends I met, and I left. And a lot of people say to this day, no life decisions is ever easy. And that's one thing I would tell myself 10 years ago, like, hey, it's not going to be easy. But like my mother used to always say, nothing easy is ever worth it. So I just think that 10 years ago, I took a chance, I learned a lot, man. I traveled the world, went to Antarctica, Alaska, Bermuda. I think if I never went to NASA, I never really would have saw the world the way I saw it. And I think for anyone listening, I think that it's important to take a chance on yourself. Like, the only person that would do it is you. Like, even though you're comfortability is not always the best availability. I'm going to say that. Comfortability is not always the best availability, because people get comfortable and they're like, oh, I'm comfortable. I'm never going to leave.
Right.
And I know one person that never gets comfortable, and he's always available. But if you don't take a chance, you won't never know. And I feel like a lot of people don't take a chance on themselves because they feel like, I've been in this job 15 years. While I'm going to leave. Is the grass greener? We always say that the grass is never greener. but you always learn. Like when you go to different jobs, you learn something different.
Mhm.
It always helps you when you go to the next job. So I think for myself, I think I was open and ready. I think, and I allowed myself, and I think that's what my motivation was then. I allowed myself to take an opportunity. So I just think that, I mean, that's important. I think people should take opportunities for this. So let me ask one quick question, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll go with this. All of us went away from our families. Why? And what what helped you? What helped you along the way to be able to do that? Like you saying, Jawan, 18-year-old you went cross country. Tyrell always been here, there. Like he don't mind going. And there's a lot of people that's scared. Like it's people I know to this day never been out of Maryland, never been out of New Jersey.
I know I know people in Atlanta that ain't been outside of 285. So
Yeah, that's
No.
so what allowed y'all to take that jump?
I say I would be lying if I wasn't scared or afraid of the adventure, but it was the opportunity. It was a few things. It was I've never seen the West Coast, never been there, don't know what it's about. Two, they're paying for college, so I don't have to worry about college debt. No, family's not paying for it. So like, cool, full ride, we're solid. And now it's me and Tyrell, all three of us have the similar growth. Like we've been under our mothers for a long time, and it's like, all right, cool, let's see. Like mind you, I could have went to Georgia Tech. That's door to door, 20 minutes.
right.
I would have been there every day. Like it's good. I don't got to do nothing. But like now, but it's like let's see what we're made of. Like
2-9. You'd been 2-9 every year. You'd have been in that anger management class with me. But go ahead.
But like to a degree, it was okay. Like let's get out from under our mothers. Like they love us. Let's see what the world has to hold for us, and let's see if I can do it on my own without crying, going home to mom. Like my mother had to call, then plan a trip, and then see me. It wasn't I can drop everything, come see you right now. It was like, no, you have to plan to come to Oregon. And then that gave, a lot of the family an opportunity to come see Oregon. Like none of us would have saw Oregon or saw the West Coast if I hadn't gone.
It rained. It just rained. I would have drove myself crazy. I don't know how I dealt with it, but it just rained. Every day we was there, it rained. It rained about 5-6 days.
It was light precipitation. It wasn't anything crazy.
It was rain. It was cloudy and rain. My attitude was worse.
But yeah,
thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. But yeah, just like trying to figure out life without the support system was definitely an obstacle, but it was the journey and the adventure within those 4 to 5 years that excited me and also scared me the most. Just trying to figure out who I was and figuring out how I was going to figure out life as a man.
Yeah. For me, I really don't. I don't know.
I mean, come on now. You've lived like you went from Georgia, you went to Cali, you went to
Kentucky.
I know. I said I've been all over. I just wanted to see where I wanted to be. Never found somewhere that truly made me happy, and just being able to travel and venture out of home to find out if this is where you want to be, or can you make it outside of being underneath your mom. It makes you who you are later in life, because if you can go and make it and struggle and make it out you'll be fine. You know, most people go out and try it, or this ain't for me, and then they take off and go back home. You know, you at some point you got to stand up and be a man, is what I say. So I
Right.
just out try to see where maybe happy. I mean, Cali was cool. The thing that bugged me the most about California, like I tell everybody, is the time difference. You know, on the East Coast, 8 o'clock at night on the weekends, you can always go to a bar and watch a football game till midnight. Hell, you can even watch Oregon or Hawaii play at 11 o'clock at night over here. You know what I mean? You go to California, all the games start at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By 8 o'clock, it ain't no game on, no NBA, no football, no nothing, no Monday night football late. Monday night football come on at 5 o'clock.
Go to bed.
Right. So it's like, what are you going to a bar at 8 o'clock for? You know, everything is done too early over there. So like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah, I think for myself, I think it was important I just think I wanted to be away, man. I just felt like I wanted to do something different. And I think, being in Jersey for school, and then when I told them I was moving to Maryland, because remember, I came back and drove y'all way down to Georgia.
Mhm.
So I just think I wasn't far. But then when y'all was like, oh, I'm going to Georgia, I'm like, geez, that's about a 10-hour drive. But I mean, I just think that it was important. And I think, when you're young, it's important to push your kids. Just like I was pushing EJ to go to A&T, but he decided to go to Morgan. I want to push you to it's important for you to get outside your element. That's the biggest thing. Because our comfortability level is very high when you in your element. When you're outside your element, that means you grow with different family. And that's why I tell everybody, and we're going to do a show about it, about family. Like family, I feel like the people that I gained by hanging out with over the years and years, and some of them I'm closer than my regular family because, we've been in the trenches, like not football wise, but work wise and hanging out and, seeing kids, birthdays and that. So that's one thing that you find out that, you build a whole nother family outside of your family. So
Yeah.
I just think that's important for people to understand. So I guess we're gonna wrap up. What's your everyday motivation? And we need to go through the top 4 list of Mr. Juwan. And I think it's important. I think he was talking about financial health because that's probably the number one deal breaker of relationships and marriages is finances.
Yeah.
Number 2, which Tyrell said that was his motivation, being a provider. I think provider is a big one. Number 3, relationships. I was just talking about the relationships that you build, that you come up with, as being out of town. When you work, you meet people, then y'all introduce people, y'all go hang out, then you meet more people. So that's one thing that you got to deal with, different relationships. And number 4 is most important, I think, because a lot of people, as G.I. Joe men, we don't talk about our mental and physical health. And we all in this chat group, and we be on people, but we want to make sure people are okay. You go to the doctor, this is your physical. So I think us as men, we need to hold each other accountable within our mental and physical health. So I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope what we talked about today touched somebody. Hey, just put in our comments below once we go live. And what's your everyday motivation? It's important for us to see what everybody else, if they have different motivations than we do. We don't mind listening. Once again, thanks for joining Family Matters with Unc and Nephews. We'll talk to y'all next time.